You know, before I move on to the next category, let's have a round of applause for all the photographers and cinematographers and videographers here tonight that stand on the beach. They sit in those boats, they watch, and they make magic. And so I just think it's great to be able to honor them. This next category, I always get choked up when this next category comes along, and I'm not kidding about that. There's something really special about this sport, and I know I talk about it all the time. It makes me sound like we're at church right now, like I'm proselytizing. But I've seen a lot, and there's just something special. And one of those things, I don't think I've ever seen or been involved in a sport where people have become so involved in philanthropy, in using what they do to draw attention to causes, to problems, to people, to look outside of what they're doing and saying, look, we want to draw attention not to ourselves, but to these people or to this cause. And I don't think I've seen anything like it before. And I think what I think it has to do with, I've given it some thought, what I think it has to do with is actually standing up. You know, stand-up paddlers feel the urge to stand up for something, to stand for something. And I just think that's one of the things that makes this sport so wonderful to be a part of without sounding too emotional. So the next category, before I get too emotional, this next category is a group of people. It sounds like a cliche. Every one of them is a champion. And those are the people that are nominated for Best Philanthropic Effort.
Top Philanthropic Effort. Next's National SUP Day again brought the paddling community together to raise awareness for cystic fibrosis, getting teens and adults living with CF on the water. Take my hand. Paddle IMUA benefits Camp IMUA, a Maui tradition started in 1976 that brings children with special needs together for a week of recreational activities and a chance to connect. What about me? Millville, Delaware's Paddle Second Chance benefits and is named for Operation Second Chance, a nonprofit committed to serving wounded veterans while helping them transition back into civilian life. I will carry. 2014 marks the Sea Paddle NYC's 8th year of bringing paddlers to the Big Apple's inland waterways to benefit autism, the Surfers Environmental Alliance, and other charities. Stand Up for the Cure has had a prolific run in Newport Beach, raising more than $300,000 for cancer research this year alone. They're now taking the event international. The Butterfly Effect is a series of events that empowers women to get on the water while raising awareness for groups like Women Helping Women, Planned Parenthood, the Hawaii Food Bank, and Maui's Paia Youth Cultural Center. What about me? Tyler's Damn That Cancer raised $260,000 for the Flatwater Foundation, an Austin, Texas-based nonprofit providing mental health services to cancer survivors and their families.
You see what I mean? We stand for something. And one of our generous sponsors, GoPro, has a motto about to be a hero. Every one of those people, they are heroes. So, but the winner of this year's Best Philanthropic Effort goes to Paddle Second Chance. And I think those gentlemen are here tonight.
Wow, that was quite a group to compete against. I was kind of impressed that we actually won this thing. What the hell was going on? Yeah, that's true. That's true. But just kind of starting out with some thank yous. I think it's important to thank SUP, the magazine, for acknowledging these types of events. Something that we do for fun, for a meaningful purpose, and that's all good. We'd like to thank our top sponsors, B2 and Company and Boardworks, sitting right over here. All good. So this little event that we do in Delaware is basically a stand-up paddleboard race and a fundraiser. And yes, there is a state somewhere out in the East Coast called Delaware, and it does have a beautiful coastline, in the event that you were wondering, right? But our cause, Operation Second Chance, is just a wonderful, not-for-profit, passionate group of individuals that really are dedicated to transitioning wounded military men and women back into civilian life and active duty. And kind of in a nutshell, we fill in a lot of the gaps in care and support that our government and society is just not addressing. And it's very impactful and very meaningful. The other distinction is that this outfit, 91% of all the funds that are raised go directly to the wounded heroes' families and themselves. So that's a big distinction from some of the other. So here's my segue. So speaking of wounded warriors, I wanted to introduce Eric to you here. Eric standing to my side. So Eric's been deployed to Afghanistan twice, and had a tragic incident as part of a special operations or special forces airborne drop one night, lost his leg. And Eric came to us representing Operation Second Chance, but in a typical fashion of the caliber of these folks' character and determination, he wasn't going to make it a spectator sport. So with the love and the grace of the SUP community in the Delaware area, Eric learned how to stand up paddleboard, and not only completed the 2.5-mile race, but was a true competitor in that regard. So I think it's only appropriate and more, and true. So I think it's really, in my humble opinion, the real winner here is Eric. And I think the recognition really goes to
Let's let you stand in the light a little bit so they can see you.
Thank you, everybody. When I got hurt, it was a challenge just to stand up, getting out of bed, stand up, to walk again. So to see, we did this. This is the second year. So the first year, just to witness it, and it really inspired me. I wanted to get out there and do it. So Sandy Dealey and Ron Gossard from Walk on Water in Maryland taught me how to, taught me some techniques, and then I learned how to just basically paddle. I wouldn't say I know how to race, but I know how to stand up and paddle. But it's a big accomplishment for me. But I also got to give a lot of credit to Operation Second Chance. I might have struggles standing up. Some guys come back, they have struggles chewing food. It's just the level of severity of their injuries. And Operation Second Chance really helps to get them out there, see what's out there, and then maybe they can get inspired, maybe they can start participating, and they see that there's life after injury. And, and it's not just myself, what we call in the military a blast radius, where where an explosion happens, and the radius of casualties. You got to understand, our wives, our kids, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, they all go through this with us. And a lot of times they don't necessarily get attention. They don't get credit for what they do to help us. And Operation Second Chance comes in and really takes care of them too, you know? So it's really a family thing, and it's a great organization, you know, a family organization. Everybody that participates gets better. So, I mean, I'm just very happy to be a part of this, and thank you guys for letting me be a part of this.
We're going to shoot a portrait of you guys over here. Congratulations.